Yo, Logan texted my family last night, and then never got back to anyone. So it's kind of weird. This is what he just texted us, and then my sister asked him this morning, and he hasn't texted anyone back, and is not responding to anyone, which is weird. He texted the group because last night me and half my company got emergency deployed to the South China Sea. I'm not able to talk about it, but I snuck my phone. And Macaulay said, "Are you for real?" And then he sends a picture of this on a Navy carrier. So they might have just emergency shipped him over to the South China Sea with the whole Taiwan thing.
Well, that's cool.
No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, I know you guys think it's funny. Oh, your brother's gonna die, but like, it makes me like.
None of us said that.
Oh yeah, shit's definitely gonna be going down.
I know, especially if they're emergency shipping into the fucking South China.
It was only
because he's on the coast, so it's closest.
And like Steely was telling me that like they're already getting ready at any moment to just like people are on standby for Ukraine, like boots on the ground, like.
We already have boots on the ground.
Yeah, like hundreds of thousands of troops. Like and like probably a draft afterwards, and it's gonna go down.
I'm 100% not going in the draft.
Well, technically you're out of the age bracket, but you know if it's bad, they'll raise.
You're not out of the age bracket. It's 33, I believe.
I thought it was 25.
No. Oh, your athletic prime? No.
Here, let's see.
And I'm actually my friend Dom. You remember Dominic Dazan? Just joined Marines. I think he's going in September. He was talking about reserves, but he just wanted to go full 4 years.
So the select service system, this is the March 1st, 2023, because I guess it's been Googled quite a bit recently. The select service system, otherwise known as a military draft or conscription, requires almost all male U.S. citizens and immigrants ages 18 through 25 to register in the draft.
Oh, so did they lower it?
So here's the new, present, the U.S. currently operates under an all-volunteer armed force policy. We know that. All male citizens between the age of 18 and 26 are required to register for the draft and are liable for training and services until the age of 35. So yeah, we're all up for the draft, boys.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about joining the reserves because I don't really care for war. I just wanted the training per se. So Levi, my friend Levi, did that, and he's been in for a couple of years. And he just does like recruiting stuff now. But it's not like he just went to Georgia for like training, he gets paid for that. And he does his real estate like fucking Gideon. So I was thinking about doing that. I just want obviously it's a terrible time to join because war, but that makes the most sense to join. But I just wanted the training. But if that's what it leads to, then it is what it is.
It kind of freaks me out too. I wonder if like he's in a lot of trouble because he literally texted us and said like he wasn't supposed to tell us that, and then that was the last thing he sent out, and we haven't heard back.
Probably confiscated his phone and said, "Hey, dude."
Yeah, because they can do that in the military. They can take your phone and go through your messages and shit. And I'm like, that's why it like freaks me out. I'm like, okay, so obviously that's not something the public was supposed to know. And then I went on Twitter and saw if like I wanted to see if like China or the South China Sea was trending. Nothing's trending on Twitter right now. So I'm like, fuck, of course my brother gets fucking shipped off to the most dangerous part. I mean, yeah, Ukraine's dangerous too, but I'm just like, fuck.
All right, fuck it, let's do it.
Let's go.
It's Sunday, May 7th, 2023. This is the Pound for Pound MMA podcast. My name is David Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 163. We got the UFC 288 recap. After that, we jump to some MMA news, and then we talk about the UFC Fight Night, Rozenstruik versus Almeida preview show. Before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts. Go follow us, guys, if you are not already, at P4P MMA Pod on everything. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, also TikTok. guys. Trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up over there. Also, guys, make sure you hit the bell notification down below and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Also, smash the like button, guys. It really does help. And if you can do all that, I know it's a lot, but do one more thing for us. Share this live stream to your friends on all your own social media accounts. Go for it. Sharing is caring, guys. That is how we're going to build this show, and we need your help. So if you do all that, man, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Are we up on YouTube?
Yeah, should be.
What? We're not.
Oh, I don't. We're good. Yeah. I don't know. My computer was weird. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Guys, also, we do have a Patreon. Tremendous Digital Network.
It's true.
All right. Exclusive podcasts, exclusive vlogs, exclusive shorts, stuff like that. That's where our exclusive content is, guys. And it encompasses the entire network we have built over here. So multiple podcasts all under one roof there for our Patreon. So go check that out. Tremendous Digital Network.
Yes, 100%. Let's jump into it, Taves. I mean, let's get right into this this main event here.
All right. UFC 280.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fight opinion?
First, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good time. The boys were just hanging out at the table.
Yeah, it was real laid back.
It was. You know what? We should hop into the story first before we get into the main event here, guys. So typically we keep this very much just about the UFC, but there's some story time here. So long story short, me and Tabor, we bet on the Yan Xiaonan KO, which was a plus 950 when we went to go bet on it. We hit it. And then at the end of all of this, at the end of UFC 288, we went to the casino and we said, book it. And we each laid $140 down on black and we hit it. It was absolutely tremendous. It was such a fun time. We literally
all those winnings.
Yeah.
We would have been way down. Like, I just barely broke even, pretty much. Then we took all those winnings. We're like, full hit.
Yeah. It was pretty.
It was ballsy.
It was ballsy. Yeah.
And then we waited. We saw, okay, a red number came up. It's time. It's got to be black. There ain't no streak on red.
I looked at you too. I go, hey, it just hit red, so let's go black. And you're like, yeah, let's go black. I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's do it. And we hit it. It was really fun.
That footage will be on Patreon, or did you clip it up already?
No, I haven't clipped it up. I put it on my Instagram. You guys can go follow me. I am Mason Knight. It's in my stories for like another 16 hours. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was fun. And we'll clip it up. We'll make it a YouTube short here today. But a really fun time. And that was something you and I had talked about for a very long time. And remember, like 2 weeks ago when we were there, you're like, dude, let's do it, $100. And I was like, no, let's not.
Okay, just one bet.
It just felt good, though. It felt like we were supposed to go and do that. And we just showed up and placed one bet and got the hell out of there after we won it. We doubled up, baby. It's a good story.
We should have went on black again, baby.
Yeah, let's go. There was a streak.
We should have doubled again. We could have kept on doing it.
Kept on going until we lose it all. That's a casino life for you. That's why when you win a big hand like that, you get that. And that's what we did.
Yes. There's no such thing as that.
No, there's really not. But yeah, that was a fun time.
Yeah, it
kind of capped off the whole night for us.
It really did. No, it was a fun card. It really was. So let's get into the main event as we were talking about. Aljamain Sterling and Henry Cejudo. Aljamain Sterling getting the 5th round split decision there. It was a very close contested fight. I feel like either guy really could have solidified it. Like a split decision. I did think Aljo won. Some people saying Aljo 4-1. Some people say Aljo 3-2. I did agree with the 3-2 there. Maybe I'd give Henry the 5th and
the second.
The second, yes.
Hold on, you guys. Just got a audio messed up. One second.
Is it not going to the roadcaster?
Nope, just fixed it.
Okay.
All right,
Oh.
I should be better now.
Sorry about that, guys.
Shout out, Colin, for letting me know about that.
Oh, good.
Apologies about that, guys. We will fix that post. So don't worry, you will be able to understand us in the beginning there. But yeah, Henry Cejudo did look good. The anti-wrestling was there. He was stuffing some of Aljo's takedowns. But Aljo just seemed one step ahead, especially in a lot of those exchanges.
Well, and I was really impressed with the cardio of Aljamain Sterling. I mean, so many times we talk about this, dude, where everyone's like, oh, Aljo doesn't have the gas tank to go 5 rounds. We saw it against Petr Yan. He crumpled and then he got an illegal knee, blah, blah, blah. But he really showed that he was working hardcore on his cardio because that was not an easy fight for him.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry Cejudo
He
really
found
pressed the
success.
pace too, and the rest the wrestling was there. There was a lot of clinch work, and that's exhausting on your body, especially over the course of 5 rounds. But Aljo just looked in phenomenal shape, and I do believe Aljamain Sterling won that. I had it 3-2 as well. I thought it was a good scorecard, and very happy for Aljamain Sterling. And I really truly believe that he solidified himself as the best bantamweight ever. And we can talk about it. Let's talk about it if you disagree, okay? Because we have what? We have Dominic Cruz, who defended it 1 time,
And Cejudo beat.
okay? And Cejudo beat.
And he beat TJ. So did he beat TJ.
Yep. And then he goes out there and beats Henry Cejudo. He is the best bantamweight in the world who has ever held this belt. He is.
I feel like I want to argue it, but I don't think I can.
You can't. You really can't.
Like the resume is there.
Yeah.
He's just in terms of numbers and shit and popularity, it's not.
Yeah.
But in terms of like just straight up fighting resume, MMA resume, yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah, he's 100% the best bantamweight in the world. And now he just set up a huge fight. You know, this was a really weird thing. Typically, the UFC does not let number 1 contenders walk into the octagon right after a fight. I don't know if I like that when that happens, because it's like, dude, Aljo just fought 5 grueling hard rounds, and then he's got to face off against another guy who hasn't been fighting, and then he's got to keep that same energy, and he's still got to be like, you know, there and up in his face like he's gonna. I don't really like that dynamic. I think the guy, the challenger, always has kind of that mental edge because the other guy's been through 25 minutes of fights. I don't really like that. But I thought it was freaking hilarious that Merab stole his jacket and wore it, that Michael Jackson looking jacket. I love it. It's so funny.
What's going on with the media nowadays? Are they just so like clickbait heavy that it's like, oh, brawl almost erupts in the octagon? It's like, and they're just
bro, that's so
words.
corny.
Like,
yeah,
that shit happens all the time. They go, oh, brawl almost broke out at the press conference when they were just talking shit. It's like, guys, my guys, it wasn't that big of a deal. I enjoyed it. It was cringy as fuck.
It was.
I had no idea what they were saying to each other. I even went back and rewatched it. I cannot understand anything. It was cringe as fuck. And then Merab is the one that actually stole the show.
Yeah.
He got the most publicity out of it.
He definitely did. Yeah. But here's the thing with one for Triple C. Let's go to Triple C side real quick. For a 3-year layoff, I thought Henry looked really good. I thought he was going to be more successful in a few areas. I thought the striking, he was going to be a little more successful. I thought the leg kicks, he was going to utilize more than what he did. There were rounds where he went to it more, but I figured over a more consistent basis, like that would have been the strategy and game plan. But for 3 years off, I thought Henry looked great.
I thought he looked good, but it wasn't the Henry that we'd seen in the past, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it that performance wasn't the performance he gave against DJ? That performance wasn't the performance he gave against TJ. You know,
just little devil's avocado here. Is it that he didn't look the same from the ring rust, which Dana agreed that he looked pretty good for a 3-year layoff, or is Aljo that good?
I think it's a mixture. I think it's a mixture of both, and the stylistic matchup.
I think the stylistic matchup is that Aljo's just that good.
Yeah,
and he's bigger. So I think Henry could have been a little more aggressive, I feel like, but I think Aljo was just that good. I don't want to take away from that as my thoughts. I think Aljo's just that good. Would you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. As I said before, Aljamain Sterling's the best bantamweight to ever fight in the UFC. His resume is there. It's very clear. He's fought the best of the best and have beaten top opponents. I mean, to not just beat Petr Yan, but then to beat, Triple C, to beat TJ Dillashaw, like he is the best bantamweight in the world. It's funny. Anti-Gravity comes in and says 235 to Cejudo. I don't want to say I necessarily disagree with that. I definitely had it 2-5. But the most egregious score was Derek Cleary giving Aljo round 5.
You could give 3 to Cejudo. It was a close fight.
It
Man.
was a close fight. I did think Aljo did enough to win the fight, but it was very, very close.
Let me read
the round 5. I agree.
Let me read the scorecards here. Mike Bell gave it round 1 Sterling, round 2 Cejudo, round 3 Cejudo, round 4 Sterling, and round 5 Cejudo, which I don't necessarily disagree with. I think that's a fine scoring. And then Derek clearly scored it. Round 1, Aljo. Round 2, Cejudo. Round 3, Cejudo. Round 4, Aljamain. Round 5, Aljamain. So I feel like that's a little bit off, but I figured whatever. I knew it was going to be close,
Mhm.
especially when Aljo was just laying there on his knees for a long time, which seemed off. And then Eric Cullen scores it round 1, Sterling, round 2, Sterling, round 3, Cejudo, round 4, Sterling, and round 5, Cejudo. That's kind of more on the lines of what I would expect. I just didn't see Sterling winning round 5, but that's just me. I guess I would have ended up in a draw. Would you disagree with the?
Well, yeah, a draw. That doesn't. No, there can't be a draw unless there's a 10-8. So no, I don't think that would.
No, I'm saying I would have preferred that compared to Derek Cleary's scorecard.
Oh, you would have preferred a draw over his scorecard?
Yeah, I just don't see how you give Sterling round, because clearly you said Sterling, you felt like Sterling did enough to win the fight, but I don't agree with giving him round 5. So
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I just the fan in me, the Just Bleed guy that comes out every once in a while. I felt myself wanting more from this fight.
Yeah, I'd have to
It
agree
was
with
it was
that.
an entertaining fight. It was a good fight. It was a very contested matchup, but I feel like both men could have done more.
Yeah.
And it would have been a little more. They kept on talking, especially Aljo kept on saying how this is going to be such a fan friendly fight, and I don't think they lived up to that.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. There was something left there to be desired.
Wanted, yeah.
I absolutely agree with that.
And you can say that about the co-main event too, which we'll
yeah,
get into.
Anti-Gravity says you can have a 10-10, but it's extremely rare. Yeah, I mean, it's so rare that can we even name a time in UFC history that it's happened, like off the top of your head?
No,
Where a
I
10-10's
imagine he
happened?
could, since
I'm sure
I
it
think-
Since he
has.
brought it up. Well,
Yeah.
and he's got Google on his side too, so he could probably just Google it. But that's, I mean, yeah, you are technically correct, but I've literally never seen it in the sport. I do wish though, I wish they would do more 10-10 rounds. When it's just razor thin close and it's like 33 to 32 significant strikes in a round, you just don't know. I would prefer them to do more 10-10 rounds if rounds are close. Because like to pick a winner if it's not decisive, I'd rather just have it be that round be a draw. I'd actually like to see more draws in combat sports, because when you lose a fight, it could be up to a 2-year setback in your career. So I would actually like to see 10-10s, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, shout out to NW. It was a good fight. I felt Henry could have opened up more when striking, when he had Aljo pressured against the fence. He was landing clean then. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Especially on Henry's side, actually. I'll give him more of the criticism because he really could have opened up more in that fight. I really do believe that. And it would have helped, man. I mean, it was already that close. So it is what it is, though. I did enjoy it. I think Triple C walks away. I think he's done. He teased it. And, a lot of people have said, look at Dana, man, if it's even a thought in your mind of not fighting anymore, do it. Because you have to be 150% into this.
Yeah, you got to be all in. All the time. And, like he had that opportunity there to win this fight, to take on the homeless lesbian. And then that's his words, not mine. And then to fight, Alexander Volkanovski. But, he lost a very close split decision. And I think this would be the best way to retire as well. Because you come back after 3 years and you lose to the champ, but you lose to the champ in a split decision, 48-47 loss.
And he solidified he's still one of the two best bantamweights in the world right now.
I mean, you don't get a closer fight than that. You literally don't on the scorecard. So you have that room to be like, yeah, I'm still one of the best to ever do it. I'm Triple C, and I lost a decision that could have went either way.
Yeah, it is what it is. He could definitely hang his head high, especially on that career. And why take fights? He did. I think he did this for legacy, not for money.
Do you guys think it was smart of Aljo to keep trying to wrestle Cejudo?
No.
And then grappling against the cage?
No,
Those are the
success.
Those are the moments where I felt like, what are you doing? Like, you were doing okay in the striking. Why not go back to that? And I felt it was kind of a weird strategy from him. I mean, he did try to go for the submission a couple times. Once when he taken his back, I think twice throughout the fight. But Aljo's game plan this time seemed pretty weird to me strategically. How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't think his strategy was bad, and ultimately it won him the fight. But yeah, I mean,
he did what he had to do. I guess.
He did what he had to do. I mean, I didn't really have a problem with his performance.
I didn't have a problem with his performance, besides when he was just kind of laying on the mat a little bit. I thought that was kind of odd. Why not try to get up right away? I just thought trying to wrestle Cejudo is kind of like trying to wrestle Usman, which I
Or
guess Leon
Khabib.
did okay, or Habib, or trying to strike with Israel. It's like, why not just do the opposite of the thing that they're not great at?
Yeah.
And he was doing good on the feet.
Yeah. Let's get into some coin picks here. So, obviously it was a fantastic fight. Is there anything else we want to touch up on it before we do this?
No, I think we hit up on everything.
I enjoyed
Obviously,
it.
we know,
I'm excited for the Sugar fight. I
yeah,
guess we should
exactly.
talk about
Obviously, we know who the next fight is, and that'll be Sugar Sean O'Malley.
And
versus
W
Aljamain
says,
Sterling.
after watching Aljo dip his head and drop his hands every time he's in a striking exchange longer than a few strikes, I think O'Malley puts him out pretty early. I do think.
I think it's a bad matchup.
I
for him.
think. I think
Yeah.
O'Malley does better than people expect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Aljo won't win. I just think he does better than people
if
expect.
it stays on the feet, he's
and
gonna
I know
piece him up.
Mason disagrees with me,
Yeah.
so I think it'd be smart of Aljo at this time to
Chain
wrestle,
takedowns.
to chain takedowns, to take O'Malley's back, to get the body triangle, to just beat him there, grapple, get the submission. I think you guys are maybe not as much Tabor, but I think you're underestimating O'Malley a little bit in the striking. I mean, he's a great striker.
Oh no, in the striking department, absolutely.
And
not.
we're all
He might-
underestimating his grappling.
No,
too.
he 100% might be the best striker in the bantamweight division. Like, he's got lightning quick hands, pinpoint accuracy, and he puts dudes to sleep. No,
And it's not
I
just
am not
the-
underestimating.
I think
Sugar
Aljo
Sean
has
at
way
all.
more strength than him, power, and that's why he'll be able to grapple
Correct.
him, strangle him, hold him down. But I think when it comes to the striking, the accuracy, kind of that precision that Israel talks about, precision over power, is what O'Malley's strongest weapon against Aljo.
So this is where I see it, because let me make this very clear. Sugar Sean O'Malley can definitely win that fight, and I'm not counting him out. Yeah, let me be clear. He's definitely got that capability. Here's the thing where I believe Aljamain Sterling will win this fight. Aljo is fucking strong, dude. This guy is strong. I mean, you see the way that he can literally defend any sort of takedown. I think when he gets someone's back, he can sink in that choke immediately. I mean, look at what he did to Corey Sandhagen. It was first round, like second minute, just boom, done. So when he gets your back, it's a huge problem. Yeah, Sugar Sean O'Malley does have good ground game. We just never actually get to see it. And the one time we did see it was against Cheeto Vera, and we all know how that went. No, I'm just joking.
He didn't even go to the ground.
He didn't even lose that fight. No, but yeah, no. So Sugar Sean can go out there and definitely knock out Aljo. Aljo's been knocked out before, that Mariah's fight, which I was there for that. That was fucking wild, that knee. So he's been KO'd before. But I just think Aljo's the more well-rounded fighter. And I think if Aljo is smart, he's not going to put his pride and ego. He's got to put that aside, and he's got to go for those takedowns and try to get a submission win, because he's not going to outstrike O'Malley. And I do agree with you guys. If Aljo tries to strike with Sugar, it's not going to be good for him, and he's probably going to get KO'd. So, yeah, I think it's a great fight. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, Anti-Gravity saying I like O'Malley in that one. IDK that Aljo is going to be able to get him down. If he does, it's going to be a long night for Sugar. Otherwise, it's going to be O'Malley picking Aljo apart. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, if O'Malley can stuff some takedowns, man, that's all it's really going to take, because I don't see a world where
Aljo's
outstrikes
strong,
him.
though. He's strong.
is
I know. So,
strong.
but if he stuffs takedowns, I don't care how strong you are. If you have a nice sprawl, as long as you don't get in a clinch situation, you could avoid that.
I do want to go back to Anti's point of when he gets into, or is it Ants? After Aljo?
No, it's
Ants.
Anti-Gravity.
Ants. The way Aljo dips his head, I think what O'Malley could do there, not the yawn route, but if he's actually, not grounded, would be when Aljo goes in for the takedown, just the knee KO.
Mhm.
I think that would be smart of
Yeah.
him.
He's probably drilling that and practicing that as we speak.
And also, we saw in their face-off, O'Malley's pretty fucking tall.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
bigger guy than
he's a big
people.
guy.
He's thin, but he's big. So I think it'll be a more evenly matched. I just think Aljo's stronger.
Well, I'm very curious to see the reach. Their reach has got to be pretty similar too, because I know Aljo's got a big reach for the bantamweight division. But what happens with Aljamain Sterling? This is his last fight at bantamweight, no matter what. I think it is, because one, right, the Sugar Sean O'Malley will be his last fight, because one, he's cleaned out the division at this point, and two, he wants to move up to featherweight, and three, his best friend is Merab, who really is a true number one contender in my opinion, because Sugar has had losses far sooner than Merab has had. I mean, Merab's on like a 9-fight win streak. Sugar Sean O'Malley, still very impressive win streak, 3 or 4 in a row. But I do still believe Merab's number one contender. So for all those reasons, I think this is Aljo's last fight at bantamweight.
I would agree.
Yeah.
And how do you think Aljo does at featherweight? I mean, I think Volk.
It's a tall order.
I think Volk. No pun intended. Tall order for Volk, but I think Volk puts him down. I think Volk has the power to put him out.
I think he's a
Volk-
top 6.
Volk has the power
featherweight.
that those at bantamweight don't. It's a scary fight for Aljo.
What I will say though is I'm curious to see Aljamain Sterling with 10 more pounds of muscle and not having to cut to 135. I know that cut is extremely hard for him to make 135, but the 145 might be a healthier, more explosive Aljamain.
Well, I think
too.
he fights. I think last night he was probably at 145. I would imagine.
Oh yeah, but
So-
not having to cut that extra 10 pounds would be huge for him, and he'd be able to train and lift weights more and get stronger. Man.
And W says the 145 move is awful for Aljo. He doesn't even hit hard compared to bantamweights. He's not going to have enough pop to even threaten any one of those guys to get a takedown. Well, I don't know about that, but a fight I would like to see is between him and Max Holloway. That'd be a fun fight.
Oh, Max would, dude, no, wouldn't. Not for
Yeah,
Aljo.
not for Aljo.
Not for Aljo would not be. You don't think he beats
Well, and then
Max.
he'll just do the same thing that everyone does with Max Holloway,
Yeah.
not even attempt a takedown. It's
Yeah.
just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. These guys are everyone. I know, dude. Everyone who takes on Max.
Anti-Gravity said after seeing what Volk did to Islam, Aljo is mincemeat at 145. Yeah, he doesn't beat Volk. I'm sorry, like it does not happen.
No,
but
I
I
don't
think
think
he's
so
I think he could be a top 6 welterweight. And W, I don't think he could get past 2 rounds with Emmett.
I think he could.
Maybe,
I think he could.
dude. Yeah. I
When
mean,
we
I don't
talk
know.
about
Yeah.
featherweight, we kind of have to separate Volk not only as champ, but he's
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 pound
just-
for pound.
he's just
Yeah.
so fucking good.
Yeah, he's pound for pound best
So-
fighter in the world.
Yeah, let's get the picks, man. We were staying
gotta
way
get
too
going.
long on this fucking fight. So I put 500 coins on Triple C. I thought Cejudo was going to do a little bit more, and I really do think if he did, it could have been a different outcome there. But a lot of people did think he won. It was a good performance for both of them. So I put 500 coins on Triple C, and my prop was Triple C KO 500 more, so I lost 1,000.
Yeah, so I hedged on this one. I thought it could go either way, and I was right. It was a split decision, very close fight. I went 500 on Aljamain Sterling, and then I put 500 on Genry. I wrote Genry. It was supposed to be Henry on the KO, but lost that prop bet.
All right, Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns. It was a really impressive performance by Bilal Muhammad, but I felt disappointed at the end because the injury.
Slight
Well,
asterisk,
it
but
wasn't-
Bilal is that good.
Bilal is that good, and Bilal
Bilal's
caused
that
the
good.
injury. It's
He
that
caused-
easy.
yeah.
He caused the injury.
You are getting something wrong. That injury was in the first round. So, like, he was compromised that
The
entire
entire
time.
fight.
Yeah. what
And
was that
because
knee?
of that, I
It was
think
that knee going into the.
What
going
do you
into
mean?
the first.
What am I wrong about?
Huh? No, not you. Him.
Oh.
He said, but later on, I was disappointed because of the injury. But the injury happened in the first round.
Right.
So that whole
I guess
entire
you're right,
fight,
yeah.
the whole entire fight was disappointing.
yeah.
And again, as you said, Tabor, not on the side of Bilal. It was still a masterclass performance. The guy deserves the next title shot. There is no asterisk there. He, as you said, he caused the injury. Like, it is what it is. But as an MMA fan, as someone, as we pay for the pay-per-views, as we want to watch them,
It wasn't
wanted to
worth
see
it wasn't
two
worth
guys.
pay-per-view money.
yeah, we wanted
know.
to see them both at their healthiest.
And that
like,
should have been
compete.
3 rounds probably.
Yeah.
And I would have been a lot more, the extra 2 rounds of that would just I wasn't having fun, man. I wasn't having fun watching it. It just wasn't entertaining to me.
Yeah, because we all knew how it was going to work. And then,
Yeah.
like, Gilbert Burns looked so dejected. He
And
looked like he didn't even want to be in
I wouldn't
there.
have been shocked if they were really considering throwing in the towel.
I wish they kind of would.
They kind of probably should
Yeah.
have. I mean, Gilbert went out there for an extra 2 rounds and just took more damage for no reason. He was not a threat.
He had that right hand, and that was it.
He landed a few, but I mean, Bilal walked through them like they were nothing. So I don't know.
And
It
again,
was
like,
disappointing, man.
and again, there's nothing bad to say about Gilbert's performance. Like when
He
you
was
have a shoulder
severely
tear,
compromised.
when you have a shoulder tear, you have a shoulder tear. Like he's a savage. He's totally game. This is his 3rd fight this year. But injuries happen, and it is what it is. But on the side of Bilal Muhammad, I mean, there's no escaping Bilal Muhammad for the next title shot. After Colby. So the winner of Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington gets Bilal Muhammad, and I love it, dude. I mean, this guy has been just killing it. He's game as well. He's fought the best of the best time and time again.
Do you think maybe Bilal jumps Colby if Colby doesn't? Colby obviously wants to fight, but I think Bilal's definitely going to be backup for that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. And if Colby makes negotiations difficult, which I don't think he will, but if he does, or if Leon makes it difficult, come on. If Leon's like, yeah, I'm not fighting Colby no matter what.
Just do Colby Bilal
then,
interim.
give me a nice little IC belt. Yep, exactly. because that's what the UFC likes to do. I mean, look at what they did to Francis Ngannou. Look at what they've done to so many people. So it is possible.
I'm kind of on the side of Leon here, and I know you guys kind of disagree, Tabor more so than you, but I don't think he's being that difficult with the UFC. I guess initially when he stated that he didn't want to fight Colby, and both of you had your reasons for saying, yeah, I mean, I feel like Bilal deserves a shot more than Colby,
Yeah.
which we both agreed with, or sorry, we all agreed with. But him not wanting to fight 3 months after or whatever his fight that just had happened, that's not that crazy to me. He just beat Kamaru Usman twice. One in, last moment, nice KO, and then one where it was, a closer fight, but he still won. He beat at the time one of the pound for pound best of all time. I think you have that leverage. He did defend the belt. Now you may be thinking, well, he didn't defend it. He only defended it once, but still, you're champ. He had a long road, same road as Bilal. I don't think he's acting that crazy, but I do think that the UFC doesn't really care about that, what he has gone through or anything, and they would make an IC or just strip him. But I don't think he's being that difficult compared to other champs.
Right, but we've had this conversation before. It's not the timetable that we have a problem with. We can all agree on the timetable. Like he can take until September, October, whenever he needs to. It's the opponent. He just needs to take the fight. Because if Dana's pushing hard for Colby Covington and you're the champ, you need to just sign, because if you don't, it's not going to go well for you. And if you make things difficult historically for Dana, he will do everything in his power to make sure that you don't have that belt and that you never win that belt again.
It's the business,
So,
man.
it
It's a
is.
business.
There's a business
They
side
want to
of it.
fucking make money. Bilal is not a fucking draw, dude. We just saw that with that co-main event. That fight fucking sucked. I don't want to go watch him fight a
Right.
main event right now.
Well,
I don't.
and even
If
Ant
you- if it-
Gravity says the same thing. He goes, maybe, but no one wants to watch another Bilal fight.
Then that's the thing. It's like, I love Bilal Muhammad. He's a fantastic fighter. But if you give me Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad, my dick stays soft. You give me
Yeah.
Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, it gets hard. And
I'm excited. For
I'm
the press
really
conference
excited.
and
Like
everything.
it is what it is, dude. Like I want big fucking numbers, baby. I want to make some money out there, and we all know that's Colby right now. And
Yeah.
Leon is getting in the way of that for the UFC, for Dana and them, and that will bite him in the ass.
Well, and here's the thing: as an MMA purist, I do believe Bilal deserves the next shot.
Absolutely.
But as a guy who loves entertaining shit, as a fan, as an MMA just fan, Colby Covington's a guy. I mean, all the shit talking at the press conference. You watch the Embedded episode. Colby's doing his shtick with the girls and the Instagram and all this corny, cheesy stuff. I love it. And that fight just sells more than it does Bilal right now. But Bilal just solidified it, and he gets the next shot. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone. I'm glad they were able to put this fight on, though not very entertaining. I'm glad they were able to get this fight done, because now we know the next contender.
Absolutely. All right. Anti-gravity real quick. As a champ, you fight who they put in front of you, period. Yeah, it is what it is. You're supposed to be the best in the world, so who cares what the number one contender is?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to coin picks. I took Burns. I was really confident. I really thought Burns was going to go in there and do something special, but you get injuries like that happen, and it is what it is.
Yep, it is what it is. I put 300 on Burns and lost that as well.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. We have Jessica Andrade and Yan Xiaonan. Jessica Andrade was charging forward with those looping left hooks, like you said she would. And Yan Xiaonan had the perfect, most precise straight right to fucking just knock her the fuck out.
Bro, can I? I'm not trying to brag, but can I just say I predicted this. I predict these things. I fucking broke this fight down, and I said Jessica's style. She's constantly throws these loopy, just hooks, just over and over and over again. And if you watch Yan and the type of fighter that she is, she throws those jabs and those straights right down the pipe with a lot of pop. And Jessica Andrade has been knocked out by some of these heavy strikers before. And I said, dude, I'm telling you right now, Yan's going to do that. She's going to keep throwing those loopy left hooks, and Yan is going to catch her. And she did in the first round and knocked her out. And we cashed in on a plus 950, baby. It felt absolutely fucking tremendous. What a performance by Yan Xiaonan. I'm very excited, too, for Yan. And I'm excited for China, because we have Weili Zhang as the champ. And Yan's moving up in the rankings here. I mean, this is an absolute huge solidifying win for her in her career, knocking out one of the best to ever do it.
Jessica Andrade,
former champ. And to do it in the way that she did it was very, very impressive. Do we see a Yan Xiaonan, Weili Zhang down the road?
Well,
if you do it in
I brought it up
China
last night, and during the press fight conference, post press fight conference, someone asked that question to Dana, and he said, he'd be into it. It seems like so. I think that's something you should do. I mean, I was looking at it. I don't think does Amanda Lemos have a fight coming up. I tried to look it up, but it didn't seem like she did. So maybe you do Jan versus Lemos. And if she wins that, you just give her the shot because I don't even know what's going on with Rose or Carla right now. So
Yeah, well,
it sounds like both. It sounds like Rose is kind of slightly retired, and maybe Carla fights again. But if you did, it would have to be Amanda and Esparza. But I think with this performance and then this sort of spectacular victory, I wouldn't be mad if they gave Jan a shot because everyone else has already had a shot
Bro,
besides Lemos.
Okay, so that's the thing. And I completely agree with you. Rose fights once every 2 years, which is fine. That's who Rose is. That's what she likes to do. She, she has her.
It's usually
thing.
once a year, but
I
yeah,
know. I'm being a little hyperbolic, but she doesn't fight often. Carla Esparza, for the love of God, no one ever wants to see her fight for another title. It's just stylistically, bro. Here's the thing, Carla. I respect it. She's a great fighter, but it's kind of like a Bilal situation where a lot of fans don't like to watch it because it's not typically the
Aunt
most.
W said Carla
fights.
said she's taking a year off to focus on family. Okay, cool.
Good.
Rose and Carla
Good.
eliminated, so you either give Jan the shot or you do Jan Lemos, winner gets title.
Yeah, I mean,
which Zhang hasn't fought in a while, so you might as well just do Zhang Lemos now, and then you give Jan the next shot. Just have her wait in the wings. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could do that. I think Amanda Lemos deserves the next shot, especially with the other two out of the picture. So you could just give it to Amanda Lemos. I mean, we also had another strawweight fight on this card that had huge implications for this division. That was that Verna fight versus Marina Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Verna went out there and beat her, and Marina was number 5 in the world. So Verna moves up. Jessica was number 4, is going to get knocked down. So yeah, Jan may be the next person in line after Lemos.
Or if they, those top 3 decide to fight it out, I guess you do Verna and Jan. That's a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza.
Please, God, no.
For the number 1 contender.
That was the worst fight in UFC history. I've never watched a fight more appalling in my life. I thought the Ngannou versus Lewis fight was bad. And then you go and watch that shit show.
Me and Mason were here when we were just sitting, and then all you could hear is
the entire time. Me and you were sitting here like, dude,
it's gonna pick up. It's gonna pick up.
This is awful. I just have never watched. And then
Rose,
hear the corner work too, and just being like, yeah, you're doing a great job rubbing the shoulder. I'm thinking, what the fuck? No one's
Hey Pat, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was just the
and then they said,
thing.
no, kid, you're winning the fight. And then we both said, what?
Anti-Gravity says Romero versus Izzy was by far the worst. I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Francis Ngannou versus Derek Lewis. We did the wave. No one watched the fight. We did the wave in the crowd.
Yeah, there are some stinkers in the UFC history of fights, but I still
we tried to be so respectful that night too. But then at the end, we were just like,
I was just
get your fucking shit together, my God.
Yeah, the controller broke, Anti-Gravity. The video game controller broke on Yoel Romero when he's just standing there like this. He said, I've never seen a dude stand in one spot for 5 minutes straight. Yeah, no, neither have I. That was so stupid. That fight was so stupid too.
We got spoiled because we got one of the greatest fights of all time to fight before that.
Yeah.
So
all right, let's move on. Enough of this strawweight division, even though as fantastic as it is. I say fuck it. Yeah, do it in China. Okay, let's do Yan versus Wei Li.
It'd be a huge card, China. Dude. That would be a huge card. That would sell out in China.
Give me a co-main of Zheng Liang versus any American. We will prevent World War III.
UFC will unite. Donald Trump will show up in China.
Colby versus Leon in China. Colby
China
wins.
Oh. Bro, no. Don't put Colby on that.
They'd censor him live.
Yeah, not only that, it's already a hostile environment.
Yeah, it's already bad.
We're not gonna be doing
all right, moving on. Picks. I picked Andrade 500 coins. Didn't work out for me. Mason, yeah, Jan's on for 3,000 coins. The big dog there gave you a return of 4,500. All right, moving on to Mosar Evelev versus Diego Lopes. Oh my fucking goodness. Everyone expected Mosar Evelev to go in there and smoke this kid. And it looked like he was. And then Lopes started landing huge shots. They were going
wobbled.
Dude, he got wobbled bad. And then they were going back and forth, trading in the pocket. It was fucking fantastic. Oh, and then, this is MMA. We got some wrestling mixed in. Yeah. Lopes was going for the submissions left and right. Evilov got caught in some arm bars. He got caught in a Kimura at one
A
point.
leg lock,
The scrambles, the transitions,
crazy.
this fight was fucking incredible.
This
dude.
fight was fight of the night, in my opinion. I
Absolutely.
had so much fun with this one. And Dana White, I know you gave this kid a bonus, which thank you for doing. But get this Diego Lopez. I don't care if he lost. Look, he came in on a less than a week notice and took on undefeated number 10 in the fucking world and had a performance like this. Though he did lose, whatever. I don't care. Get this kid a contract, man. This kid is game as hell. Fight of the night. So much fun. Had no idea, not going to lie, because I don't watch the LFA or whatever. Had no idea who Diego Lopez is. And now I do. He is definitely on my radar. I'm very excited to watch him fight again. And it's crazy because, we should be talking about Movsar Evilov in his win, but instead we actually are talking more so about Diego Lopez and just his performance last night. It was incredible.
We were just roasting him too the whole time before the fight started about his haircut.
And
tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
Yeah,
no,
just like 2000s emo music.
Mhm,
Like, that's
yeah.
what he looks like. Dude.
No,
It's
but yeah,
hilarious.
he fucking
He's got
totally
the
impressed me, dude.
alphabet tattooed on his chest.
If I'm an unranked, that shit was hilarious. All right, if I'm an unranked 145er out there, I'm really watching this kid. Because
100%.
he's fucking something special there. Let's get him a little developed. Let's build him up. And dude, like he could make a run here at 145 pounds.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with him in
Big fan.
Mosar against Mosar. Like Mosar is a savage. We all know how good that guy is. And for Diego to compete that well, making his UFC debut, super impressive. So shout out to this kid. But I did put 100 on Mosar. He was a minus 900. So I was like, fuck it, minimum bet. I'm going to make 9 coins. So.
Bro, it's crazy. Yeah. Anti-Gravity comes in and says Evilov is now 7-0 in the UFC with 0 finishes. This dude doesn't finish fights.
No, he never finishes fights.
It is insane. I mean, if you're betting on Evilov, bet on the win by decision. Because, dude, this guy just doesn't know how to finish a fight. It's crazy. But yeah, he was a huge, massive favorite, a minus 900 favorite. I put 100 coin on that and got a return of 9. Wow.
All right.
Big win, Tabes.
Moving on to Chrome Gracie versus Charles Jourdain. Can I get
let's move on for that, please.
Can I get the yeah, thank you.
All right.
3 years. 3 fucking years and zero striking improvement. 0 takedown improvement. What in the fuck were they doing for these last 3 years, dude? That was a horrible performance from the Gracies. Man.
Dana White said it best. It was like pulling out of a time capsule in 1995, right? It's tough because I feel like, and Dana was being very careful too, because I feel like the Gracies are like the head of a mob family. And
Right.
You can't say anything
they're not,
bad.
but they're not strikers. But go ahead and finish.
No.
But I just want you to know
That's cool. I don't want that.
ever again.
Yeah.
No, I would prefer not to see that ever again. It's just
That was the worst fight on the card.
Oh, unquestionably.
Yeah.
It was a snoozer.
If you're pulling guard like left and right, dude, like.
And
get
don't get me
your
wrong,
fucking
like
shit
Chrome
together.
Gracie, he seems like a cool guy. He really does. He
Yeah.
seems like a weirdo, right? My kind of guy. Like I would have a beer with him at the bar. I think would be a lot of fun.
Anti-Gravity says get Crone the fuck out of the UFC. I kinda
Yeah.
don't disagree.
Yeah, it's just it was crazy because he threw like 1 strike in the entire fight, and then he was just like pulling guard, but he wasn't doing anything while being in guard or enough to like even pull off submission attempts. You had Lopez pulling off more submission attempts against Evilov than you did a Gracie. It just wasn't his best performance. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say on it. What a snooze
Ant
fest.
W says really wish major MMA promotions would stop signing these BJJ guys that obviously have zero motivation to learn any other aspect of MMA. Just go compete in BJJ. There's decent money over there, and you'd be right.
And you'd
since
be right.
Mikey Musasechi just won his
Right.
matchup.
Yeah.
And got a 50K bonus.
Well, and that's what I want. I want to see. So here's the thing with Gracie, and I think this is actually a good segue into this. Okay, guys, if you don't watch One Championship, it's fucking awesome. It is awesome. Well, I watched that whole card. We'll talk about it more in MMA news. I'm just bringing up for this fact since Cron Gracie is on this card.
Let's make it quick because I want to get to MMA.
Yeah,
news.
yeah, I know you do. But it's MMA, dude. Like, don't rush me that much. Holy fuck. But with One Championship, a guy like Gracie can go over there and have a lot of success and actually make money. I don't understand why he's in the UFC. Yes, I know because the Gracies historically, have been in the UFC and whatnot. But dude, go over there, go over to One Championship, work over there and do those grappling matchups. Because I think that's where Cron Gracie's going to find success. But in the UFC, get the hell out.
I want him to do bare knuckle boxing just so I can
Shut
see him
up.
get the fucking shit kicked out of him.
Damn,
'cause
dude,
that's how much.
now you
I
really
was
don't
mad.
like him.
I don't
Yeah,
like
you were
him.
mad.
I was mad. That was not fun. All right, moving on. We did take Crone, I think, both of us. No, you took Jordan.
No, I
you got
took
100.
Jordan, yeah.
Okay, I put 500 on Crone. I felt like an idiot. I felt like that guy that put $35,000 on him. What a
Oh
fucking
my God,
idiot.
what a dumbass, dude. What a
What a-
fucking dumbass.
Uh-oh, retard
Yeah,
alert.
like, come on, my guy.
Retard alert, class.
That's the kind of guy that just doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't care.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
whatever.
clear fuck you money.
Yeah. All right. MMA news. So you just talked about it. Let's talk about the ONE FC card first.
Yeah,
actually.
let's talk about
Why
it real
not?
quick.
Yeah. So DJ went out there. He won his trilogy by unanimous decision.
Yes.
I didn't watch the card. Was it good?
Yeah, it was actually a really fun card, dude. The opening fight was pretty wild. This Jackie chick, just crispest Muay Thai I've ever seen, bro. The striking was phenomenal. Just flatlined this chick. It was awesome. And then, obviously DJ going out there and just the GOAT. Like, he is consensus on Mount Rushmore for MMA fighters. I think you would be delusional to say otherwise. This man, 13 title fights in the UFC, 12 defenses. Then he goes over to ONE, loses the first fight for the belt, goes out there and beats Moraes the second time in the same way that he lost in the first, and then goes out there in the trilogy and wins and defends the belt again. This man is the best mixed martial artist of this generation. I think for his weight class, especially, you throw a Demetrius Johnson on Mount Rushmore, guys like John Jones, maybe a GSP and Habib, whatever. I mean, there's debates there. I don't want to get into the Mount Rushmore debate, but all I'm saying is DJ is on that list for sure.
Yes.
Not
absolutely.
to mention, this is the last 3 fights on the card were DJ, Rod Tang, and Mikey Musumeci. I mean, that's free. We didn't have to pay for that, but
No.
I would have. It was a great promotion.
And the Rod
I
Tang
had
fight was
fun.
awesome.
The
too,
Rod Tang
dude.
fight KO was
That was
amazing.
sick.
It was, I was just sitting there. It's a great organization, and I think it's before people might have said UFC, Bellator, PFL, shit like that. But for me, it's UFC, ONE Championship,
Mhm.
PFL, Bellator.
Yeah, that's
bare-knuckle
my
boxing.
order too.
I mean, it's so good, and I can't wait for ONE to do more events in the USA. Hopefully, around this area, because I would definitely go to ONE. It's just nice seeing, kind of like Tabor said, or you as well. If you have these guys who are kind of one-dimensional, no disrespect, and how they fight, then why not throw a Muay Thai fight on there? Why
Mhm.
not throw a Jiu-Jitsu match on there? Why not have an
It's
MMA
cool.
fight on there? I mean, it's perfect. It's the perfect mix and the perfect balance. Yes, you don't have as many prestigious big names, but you have big names specifically for MMA, but you have big names from other respects and other disciplines
Yeah.
of martial arts, and you're able to spread that throughout the world. And I mean, like I said, it was free if you have Prime, so it's a great promotion.
I ordered
I'm definitely going to be watching more of them. It sucks that our schedules are not compatible,
I know, with
but
Friday
if it's
nights.
just me and Tabor or whoever, but I really think everyone would enjoy watching those Friday nights. And not to mention when you'd have, like, we had ONE Championship and the next day UFC. I mean, that's pretty cool. And then I
Mhm.
guess the next day you could have, football or something, whatever else you're into.
Yeah.
But just a great sports weekend in general.
It
Yeah,
really is,
absolutely.
ONE Championship is awesome, and I ordered that trilogy shirt. I had to order it just because DJ probably retired after it, and I wanted to make sure I got that shirt just so I could wear it in Vegas for International Fight Week.
I'm gonna start streaming my gaming just so I can play with them and have them on.
Hell yeah. All right.
I do want to hit this real quick. This just
Go
came
for
in
it.
the chats. With the PFL Bellator merger coming up, MMA outside of the UFC is going to be in a good spot again, like it was in the Strike Force days. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors. This is part of MMA news. We'll just touch on it briefly, but there's a lot of rumors and speculations that the PFL is actually going to buy out Bellator, which I would love because I've talked about it many times, but I really do believe Bellator. I just don't like how they do it. I think the PFL is far more professional. And I think it would be a good merger. And hopefully the PFL, if they overtake Bellator, they'll quit doing that goofy shit and just start with, like having fighters just fucking walk out, not come down the stage and do the WWE thing. I just think it's so goofy. So yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
And Francis to the PFL would be a huge merger.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that'd be huge for the PFL. That would get a lot of eyeballs there. I mean, you'd be crazy to think not. So That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's just on the side of Francis. I think he fucked himself because I don't think he's going to make nearly as much money doing the PFL thing unless they do like pay-per-view points or something like that for him. I know the PFL is getting into that pay-per-view.
Well, he's
model.
going to walk out there and, let's be honest, win the championship just like.
Yeah, and that'll be $1 million instead of like a $3 or $4 or $5, $10 million paycheck every time he fights, which he could fight 2-3 times in the UFC. So I don't know. It does feel strange. I don't want to see Francis go to another organization, but I do want to see him fight. And if that has to be in the PFL,
Well, don't worry. As soon as another organization starts doing good, the UFC will buy it out. So
yeah, probably.
I'll be back on the roster.
Yeah, it is what it is there. But speaking of GOAT, as you were talking about Demetrius earlier, John Jones did come out and say that he is confirming the rumors that it is for sure probably going to be his last fight after the Stipe fight. He's like kind of like vaguely saying it. Like he didn't come out for sure and say, I will be done after Stipe, but he's making a lot of statements as there's nothing to keep me around after Stipe.
Okay, so we waited 3 years for...
Right, so hold on. I disagree with that. Let me tell you why. John Jones at this point is fighting for a legacy. He is still still undefeated, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yes, there's one loss, but he was beating the fuck out of Hamill. Poor bastard. I mean, fucking beating the shit out of him. Like, that fight should have been stopped to begin with. Like, yeah, you almost watch someone actually get murdered on TV. It's pretty fucking wild. But with that said, the point that I'm trying to make, John Jones, I actually disagree, though, because he cannot go out there and defend his belt one time. Yes, I know, consensus greatest heavyweight of all time, but you can't go out there and have one defense when there's other savages moving up in the ranks in the heavyweight division and call yourself the greatest heavyweight to ever live with one title defense. I don't care if that's against the greatest heavyweight of all time, who's almost 40 years old. That's not enough. Now, if John Jones went out there and he goes and he beats Stipe very decisively, and then he goes out there and beats an up-and-coming savage like Pavlovich, exactly, then you can start saying, okay, this man is the greatest heavyweight in UFC history. But you cannot make that claim with only one win. And if John Jones is going for legacy, then I really do believe he has to have at least 2 title defenses, if not 3.
So
I don't think he cares about the, quote, greatest heavyweight of all time. He just wants to be the greatest fighter, period, of all time, which I think he already is.
Can we all agree that John Jones is the greatest fighter of all time?
Yes.
The greatest mixed martial artist? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but you just want him to fight more like Pavlovich and stuff like that for the heavyweight.
Correct. Because
he doesn't see them as threats.
I agree with that.
Because here's the thing. When you're talking about legacy and you look at like the greatest basketball player of all time, the reason why Michael Jordan is still for most people, consensus greatest basketball player of all time, it's because he went and won 3 rings and then came back and won 3 rings, right? It wasn't, so, he won 6. It wasn't this thing where it's like a LeBron James where, he wins one every couple of years but loses a lot. No, MJ was 6 for 6, baby. So when you see John Jones, if he can, after his incredible career at light heavyweight, retires, quote unquote retires, takes a couple of years off, and then comes back and does the same thing in the heavyweight division, he will be goated for life. Like there is no debate there. John Jones will be the greatest mixed martial artist forever because no one else will be able to ever do that. That's what I want to see.
Anti-Gravity has 1 Jones, 2 DJ, 3 GSP, and I'm not sure I disagree.
I know, but the Jones, I don't disagree with that either. But man, that DJ and Jones is so hard for me because he's had so many title defenses. 12 title defenses. What is Jones?
DJ's lost.
Now? Yeah, he has.
DJ has lost.
That is true. That's actually a very good point. He has lost.
But he's had more interesting fights as of recent.
I think I'd put I don't know if I could say that.
Yeah, you can't put
GSP over DJ.
GSP lost to Matt Serra that first time too. Got upset.
Yeah, but he beat him, and then he also
beat his ass the second time.
Yeah,
100%.
and same thing with Matt Hughes.
Yeah,
it's just like a Matt.
Yeah, it's the Matt.
Do the Mats.
Yeah, you can't do the Mats GSP.
So I guess what if we just combine them all into one fighter, and then the fighter's the greatest?
Jones is the greatest. I think it's consensus that easy.
I would have to agree with that. The more we're talking about it, he is the greatest.
And he's transcended eras.
21 years old, 22 years old wins.
Yeah, wins the belt.
Multiple generations. So
just fucking obliterates Vitor, poor bastard.
Poor bastard.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All right. Last little bit of MMA news. We're gonna skip the Connor shit because who gives a fuck. Pena is out versus Amanda Nunes, so Aldana is in for the June pay-per-view. Is this a better, more entertaining fight? I actually think it is a little bit. I actually like this matchup more. I'm happy they did this. Pena, I think her ribs, so broken ribs, cannot continue the fight. So rough for her. Hopefully she gets another shot when she comes back or something like that. But yeah, June pay-per-view, it's still not the best. But you know what?
Honestly, but hey, you know how I was iffy?
What I can get.
I was iffy about watching Pena fight again for the belt because I was just like, I kind of don't want to see this trilogy. Like she won the first fight, no doubt, solidified champ, but she got her ass beat so hard the second fight that I didn't want to see that
she
again.
got 5-0'd basically.
She got
dismantled that second fight. It was exactly the fight that we expected to see the first time.
And if like you said, if she wins and she's up next for a shot, then for sure. But I am excited to see at least someone else up to the chopping block. Well, but hey, Aldana, what if it's possible she wins and you get the rematch between them? So I'm just excited to see fresh meat.
Well, what I will say is I am completely consistent on my takes when it comes to this. So it's like the Max Holloway situation, right? If Max keeps winning and he's got to fight Volk for a fourth time because he's the number one contender, then so be it. Same with Robert Whittaker. Same thing. Same thing with Juliana Pena. If Juliana Pena goes out there and beats the best of the best, but cannot beat Amanda Nunes consistently, she has before, which is very impressive, then she deserves another shot.
I think this is where us and Dana disagree. After a fighter loses like 3 times to the same fighter for the belt, he's just like, they're done. But I'm like, why?
From a promotion standpoint,
if they can keep fighting and they're good enough and they're just staying in that number one spot, you have to.
Yeah, I'm just of the idea that I don't care how many times I see a guy fight someone else. If he deserves it or she deserves it, then give it to me again. Because I hate watching like number 6 in the world get a title shot over a guy who's won 3 fights in a row, who's number one contender, but he's fought and lost to the guy twice. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Let's move on to our preview show. Okay, Mason. I'm late as fuck, man. I gotta get going. So let's get on to our main event of the evening. Jairzinho, they said this fight's at noon? Noon?
Yeah, noon.
They're doing an early card because this is on the East Coast.
Yes, it is. Noon start time. Prelim start at 8:30 a.m. I will be up for this bad boy. This is going to be a good time.
Interesting. We got Jairzinho, Rozenstruik, and Jailton Almeida. Almeida getting his first main event here. It was Anthony Smith originally versus Johnny Walker was the main event, but that got downgraded to co-main. They're really pushing this Jailton Almeida. He's a huge favorite coming in a minus 550 to a plus 400 Jairzinho.
And this one's real easy to break down, Tabor. And if you're on a time crunch, here it is. Are you ready? Jairzinho Rozenstruik. The only way he wins is via KO. If Almeida gets him to the mats, he submits him in the first round. If you're a bet man and you're a prop man, these are the 2 props I'm laying down. Either Almeida first round sub or Jairzinho Rozenstruik KO first round. That's how I'm doing this. And Jairzinho at a plus 400 is a great value. But is that not exactly what you're
Can you just do? I'd just go Jairzinho KO. If I'm being a betting man here and I'm just looking for a prop bet, I'd go Jairzinho KO.
Well, yeah, you could.
Jairzinho KO first round, definitely going to be better odds. But I'd just go KO because this guy, he's been completely outclassed for 5 straight rounds before and then gotten a fucking punch from the heavens.
Yeah, that's very true.
His opponent,
I would sprinkle first round. So like what I would do is bet KO in general. And then if I bet like $20 on the KO, then I'd sprinkle $5 on a first round KO.
Yeah, if I'm doing 2 prop bets, I'm going Jairzinho KO and Jailton Almeida sub. For sure. But Almeida minus 550. I think he's going to win the fight. So I don't see much value there. Minus 550. I'm going to go with Jairzinho. I'm going to bet on the big KO, baby. I want the heavyweight to be swinging early. So I'm going to go 1,000 coins on Jairzinho. It's going to be 1,000 coins on Jairzinho KO.
Okay. So I am going to go Jairzinho. I'm going to put 1,500 on him just because I really love the odds at a plus 400. He's got the knockout capability, but I am going to hedge on my prop here for the OC coin. I'm going to go Almeida sub, and I'm going to put 1,000 on that.
All right, Anthony Smith minus 105 to minus 115. Johnny Walker, a pick'em fight here. A lot of people are looking down on Anthony Smith coming off that leg injury right now. He's been essentially in a training camp since December. He was originally supposed to fight Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill ended up fighting Glover Teixeira, become the new light heavyweight champion of the world. We all know how that cookie crumbled. And now he has Johnny Walker
Question
coming off that
here
big Paul Craig
for you
win.
guys. We did see that Anthony missed weight to be the backup fighter for that fight before. Maybe it was, do you think possibly due to the injury, or it was just a one-time mess up of missing weight?
He said he just fucked up, and it could also been a thing with Brazil. You know, historically, Brazil isn't the best when it comes to hotels and stuff, for bathtubs,
or
for weight
food
cutting
and stuff like that.
So
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows? He said he just fucked up. It was his mistake, and he'll never do it again. So we'll see.
Yeah, I give grace to a guy like that because he doesn't have a history of it, and sometimes it just happens. It is what it is. But on the side of this fight and the breakdown for this, first and foremost, I think Johnny Walker is a tremendous striker. I think the way he wins this is actually attacks that leg right away. And I think he's got to throw away. Listen. I know it does sound shitty of me, but it's very true. Johnny Walker's got really good strikes and really good leg kicks. And if he can attack that leg early, he can cause a lot of problems for Anthony Smith. I think on the side of Anthony Smith, a pretty decent striker, not terrible, but not like amazing either. But I think where Anthony Smith wins is taking Johnny Walker down, implementing that wrestling, getting Johnny tired, and potentially pulling off a submission win. I do like the experience of Anthony Smith in this fight quite a bit. And I like the fact that he's minus 105. He's had a lot of fights on his resume, and they call him a Lionheart for the reason. This man just doesn't give up. He refuses to keep walking forward. You got to put this man in a coffin before he is done fighting. I like Johnny Walker here. It's a big opportunity for him, and if he gets the job done, like, I'd be happy for Walker in his career. I've been following him his whole time, but I am going to go with Anthony Smith here for the win. I'm going to put 750 on Smith.
All right. I'm also taking Anthony Smith. I do think he's the more well-rounded, savvy vet here. I do think he will drag Johnny Walker into a 3-round battle, and Johnny Walker's gas tank will fade there, or Anthony Smith could take him down and get a sub. He's going to definitely have a significant grappling advantage there. I'm taking Smith. I think it's a safe bet here. I'm going to go 1,000 coins on him. Let's move on to the next matchup. We have Daniel Rodriguez at plus 200 to a minus 240. Ian Gary. This is a good fucking fight. This is a big test for Ian Gary because D-Rod has got legitimate hands. He's got some fantastic boxing, and he does have some decent anti-wrestling skills. Can Ian Gary get him down? If he gets him down, he's going to win the fight, in my opinion. He's just that good on the ground. He's an undefeated fighter out of Ireland. He's got a lot of hype behind his name. He's the big, heavy favorite here. But D-Rod, at a plus 200, I wouldn't be shocked, man. Ian Gary gets hit.
Yeah, he does.
He gets hit in his fights, and D-Rod's got that power. I think D-Rod could be a sneaky little cheeky bet to make by KO, because I think that's the only way he wins this fight. I don't think he's winning a decision against Ian unless he's just stuffing takedowns and piecing them up from the outside. But I don't know if that's the type of fight that's going to happen here. So I'm going D-Rod, and if I'm going to make a prop bet, I might go D-Rod KO.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad prop to make. Ian Gary is obviously a really, really good striker, but he does have a tendency to leave his chin out, and he does get caught. The thing with him, though, is when the kid gets caught, it's like something just clicks in him, and everything turns around, and then he just becomes a savage in rounds 2 and 3. And we saw that in his last fight. It was crazy. He got caught early in that first round, and then just turned it against Kenan, I believe, and just absolutely dominated in rounds 2 and 3. It was a really good fight.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the side of D-Rod, man, I mean, this dude is powerful. He's got hands. I think his wrestling's pretty good. He's got a few pretty impressive submission wins. He's a very well-rounded fighter, and he's got that power. And if you can catch Ian Gary early, I think it could be a lot of problem. I do like the value here. I do agree with you. I do like the value at a plus 2-to-1 dog here at a plus 200 for Daniel Rodriguez. I think it's very likely that Ian Gary can win this fight and win it on the feet, but I like the 2-to-1 dog here. I'm going to go Daniel Rodriguez. I'm going to go ahead and put 1,000 coin on D-Rod.
I'm putting 500 on D-Rod. I agree 100% there. Let's go on to Mackenzie Dern and Angela Hill. Mackenzie Dern coming in minus 182 plus 155. Angela Hill. I'm going to be honest. I have a lot of respect for Angela Hill and her striking style, but Mackenzie Dern's the bigger, stronger fighter. Mackenzie Dern's going to take her down and choke her out in the first round. That's honestly what I think is going to happen, or get an armbar or something. But if Angela Hill can stuff those takedowns and get away from the fence and like piece apart Mackenzie Dern, she's definitely going to have a significant speed advantage with those hands. I do think so. So she can land and be successful against Dern, but if Dern gets a hold of her, I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I do agree with that part of your breakdown. But the thing that does not make sense with Mackenzie Dern in the last couple of her fights is she is such a good jiu-jitsu practitioner, but I am not seeing her take girls down enough in trying to implement that jiu-jitsu game. I see her trying to stand and bang. I mean, think about that Yan Zanon fight. It went 5 rounds, and she just kind of tried to stand the whole time and outclass Yan.
She didn't have the best takedowns in that fight.
No, she did the same thing against Marina Rodriguez, too. And we just saw what Verna did to Marina. Marina doesn't have a ground game, but then Mackenzie Dern wanted to stand and bang with her majority of that fight. You cannot do that with Angela Hill. Angela Hill is a very good point fighter. She's got a ton of strikes that she throws in the course of 15 minutes. It's not going to go Mackenzie Dern's way if she tries to outstrike Angela Hill. It just absolutely won't. So what Mackenzie Dern are we going to get in this fight? Are we going to get a smart and strategic Mackenzie Dern who is going to go for those takedowns? Because I do agree with you. She is the stronger girl. She can take Angela Hill down and she can hold her down. But will she? That's the biggest thing. That's why I'm very concerned about this fight as a betting man, and I'm actually staying away from it, and I'm going to abstain from betting. But Angela Hill on the feet all day, I think she wins it. But if Mackenzie Dern can implement some of that wrestling, take her down and submit her, I think Mackenzie Dern will win this fight. But go ahead and give me Angela Hill. I'm actually just going to go Angela Hill here. I like the dog. I'm going to have a little bit of fun with this. At a plus 155, give me 500 coin on Hill for the win.
I'm going 500 on Dern. We'll move on to Tim Means at a plus 185 to minus 225 Alex Morono.
Nice little legends.
This is a good fight. Both these men are, aging. Alex Morono is a bit younger than Tim Means. Tim Means, I think, is in his 40s now, but I mean, he's still going out there and he's being extremely competitive in these fights. This is a good fight to make. I really like this fight. It's going to be a banger. They're going to go out there. They're going to go to war. Alex Morono looks super fucking impressive in his last fight against Santiago Ponzinibbio. Yet he got finished there in the third. I do think he could have put Ponzinibbio away. Just didn't capitalize on that. But I'm going Morono in this one. He looked really good in that Ponzinibbio fight. If he fights like that against Tim Means, he's going to win, in my opinion. So I'm going to go Morono 500 coins.
Yeah, I would agree with you. The Dirty Bird Tim Means is he's been fun throughout his UFC career. I just think Morono has a little bit left in the gas tank. I'm going to go Morono as well. At a minus 225 favorite, I'll put 450 on him.
All right. Mason, what is on the agenda?
We got our parlay.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Yeah, parlay, boy.
Your question is, your answer to your question is Guardians 3.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing Guardians 3 today.
Smith, D-Rod, Dern, 1,000. That's mine. Take it to the bank, boys.
Smith,
not a financial advisor.
Okay. And my parlay is going to be absolutely crazy, tremendous. If it hits, it's going to be wild. So here it is. It is Jairzinho at a plus 400. What? D-Rod at a plus 200. Smith and Morono, 4-fight parlay. I don't even have to lay that much because that one will be astronomical. That'll be like a plus 5,000 if it does hit. So I'm going to put 500 coin on that one. That'll be a fun little parlay. We'll see if I hit it.
All right. Dude, you know what movie you guys should watch? We were talking about how we're going to do Fast and Furious ones.
Yeah.
I watched the movie with Kelsey the other day on Hulu. It was called Shadow in the Clouds with Chloe Grace Moretz. That's her name. Yeah. She played like a World War II female pilot. Moral of the story is gremlins are real. A demon's on the plane trying to kill everyone, and she's the most badass person there. It was probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, that sounds definitely like something
we should watch something like that for the Patreon and then just shit on it the entire time. It was horrible.
I know we need to start doing the movie reviews on Patreon.
Have our own Razzie Awards.
Yeah.
But you know what? She's played a good Carrie. So.
Yeah, sure.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
All right. Guys, if you are not following us already on all our social media platforms, make sure you go and do it. It's at P4P MMA Pod on everything: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Go check it out. We're posting funny memes trying to make you guys laugh. So hit us up over there. Also on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed down below. Hit that bell notification so you know when we go live next time. Are you guys going to go live next weekend? Or are you going to be hitting up the Casino?
I think we're going to hit the Casino up because it's going to be such an early card
lunchtime anyway. Why not?
Yeah, lunchtime. And then we'll be back in the studio for May 20th, maybe. We'll see. That card's pretty shit, though.
I'll be No, didn't we say we were doing something else that card?
Yeah, we're gonna do the Fast 9.
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna
that
watch
weekend?
Fast 9, yeah.
Yes,
and then
I'll be back
we'll
that
do Fast
the
X.
Tuesday of that week, so I'll be here for that.
Okay.
All right, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, stay tuned, guys. If you want to see all that kind of shit, you need to go to our Patreon, guys. Tremendous digital network on Patreon. It's one fee. You get all the exclusive content over there. Go check that out, okay? All right, I think we're good. I think that's it.
Anti-Gravity says maybe I'll join you guys after my kid's baseball game. Hey, there you go. That's great. Baseball is my favorite sport growing up. I love baseball.
Yeah,
so
you
much.
probably coached his kids.
I might have.
No, I'm kidding. It's the center. All right.
All right,
All
here we
right.
go.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. All right, guys. This is the Pound for Pound MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. Devin Davis on the ones and twos. And until next time.
Peace.